maybe you heard that your employers offer like a company pension, right? And there it heavily depends on the conditions that you get basically and what your employer offers on top, right? Because like the problematic part is like the low interest again, because you have like part of the contract is always a guarantee. So that means some of the money that you invest will not go towards funds, but into like a low yielding asset, right? So that means when your like employer just gives you like the standard 15-20% on top of your investment, that's by the way, the exact amount that he saves in social fees. So if he gives you, I'm so generous, I give you 20% on your company pension, it's just what he saves. So he's basically not paying anything for it. Then it's generally not worthwhile doing, right? So it looks good on paper, right? Because you can deduct it from your taxes and from your social fees. So it's like, okay, you can have a low deduction from your netto income and have a rather high investment in the pension plan. But you really have to calculate it if that's really worthwhile doing, because the low interest or the lower interest makes a huge difference over time. As you explained, like in your videos, like the compounding interest effect is very important, how much interest you get actually.
So within this private insurance, I have like two questions. When the employer contribution goes. So let's assume we have employer pension plan, and if someone changes the job, does it still continue? Can you continue your previous plan, or is it just, it stops there? And if the employer has another company where they're contributing the pension plan, how does it work?
Yes, so there's different scenarios. So basically, all of the employers have their own solution, right? So when you are with rather small companies, they just have an insurance that they work with most of the time, right? And then when the new employer is also rather small, right, then you can most of the time take your pension plan with you. Of course, the employer can decide what kind of bonus they give you, but either you can take your pension plan with you, or you can take like the money that you saved in there and put it in the new pension plan from the new employer.
But you can never get the cash amount back.
No,
the pension.
No. And very important, that's only when you switch like between like small companies. When you then switch to a big company, they generally have kind of their own pension insurances. And then you cannot transfer the money. You have to start this and start a new one, have new costs again. So that's like, that's also like a part when you switch employers, then you switch the pension plans and then you have new costs again. So you have to be very careful with like these company pension plans, even though they sound very good, right? But most of the time, it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Another topic, when your employer gives you 100 euros and you have to contribute 100 euros to get this 100 euros, then of course it's a good thing, right? Because you get like 100% bonus immediately. So you will need to put like aside 50, 60, 70 euros to like contribute 200 to a plan. Then of course it's a different thing when like your employer gives it to you sort of as a social benefit, right? But when you just have the standard conditions, it's usually not good. Yeah.
And you also get this private employer pension plan when you retire at the age of 67. You can't get it before that, right?
Yeah, 62 currently is the earliest. Yeah, but you cannot access it before that.
Okay.
And then always my clients say after the consultation with us, hey, David, I would love to have known this 5 years ago, because then I could have started 5 years ago, started saving, started getting tax refunds. So it's just very important to get started. That should be like the main message of this video.
So the consultation with you guys, or at least the first consultation, is always going to be free, right?
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
You get.
So I'll put a link with all of the information that you can contact David in the description below. It's going to be the first link. So make sure that you contact David if you're interested in getting a consultation and knowing more about the German pension system.
Perfect.
So, in the next video, Bleib gesund.